Good morning, students. As we have studied earlier, the Parsells identities as we have studied the Parsells identity for the complex Fourier transformations as integral minus infinite to infinite fx g star x dx is equals to integration minus infinite to infinite fp g star p dp. This can also be written as minus infinite to infinite fx modulus of fx square dx is equals to integral minus infinite to infinite modulus of fp square dp when we take the function gx as fx. This is the Parsells identity for the complex Fourier transformation. Similarly, we have studied about the Parsells identity for the Fourier cosine transformation as well as the Fourier sine transformation. We have studied that for the Fourier cosine transformation, the Parsells identity can be written as integral 0 to infinite fx gx dx is equals to integral 0 to infinite fcp gcp dp. And this can also be written as, if gx is taken as fx, then this is equals to integral 0 to infinite fx all square dx modulus of fx square dx is equals to integral 0 to infinite modulus of fcp square dp. Also, for the Fourier sine transformation, this Parsells identity can be written as integral 0 to infinite fx gx dx is equals to integral 0 to infinite fsp into gsp dp. If we take gx is equals to fx, then this result can be written as integral 0 to infinite modulus of fx square dx is equals to integral 0 to infinite modulus of fsp square dp. So these are the Parsells identity for the complex Fourier transformation, Fourier cosine transformation and the Fourier sine transformation. Today we use these Parsells identities to solve some problems. We will solve some problems with the help of the Parsells identity. For this one, we have to solve the problem. Find the Fourier transformation of fx. Find the Fourier transform of fx, where fx is equals to 1 if mod of x is less than a, and this is 0 if mod of x is greater than a. First we have to find the Fourier transformation of the function, which is defined as this one. Also deduce that integral 0 to infinite, we have to deduce that integral 0 to infinite sine square ax upon x square dx is equals to pi a upon 2. Also we have to deduce that sine square ax upon x square dx is equals to pi into a upon 2. First we have to find the Fourier transformation of the given function, and then by the use of the Parsells identity we will show that this integral is equals to pi a upon 2. So for the solution of this one, first we find the Fourier transformation of the function fx with respect to p. Let this is equals to fp. Let the Fourier transformation of the function fx, which is defined as, is given by this one, and by the definition of the Fourier transformation we know that this is equals to 1 upon root 2 pi integral minus infinite to infinite e raised to iota px fx dx. As here the function fx is defined in different intervals, the value of the function is different in different intervals. So first we break this integral in those intervals in which the function is defined. So here the function is defined fx is equals to f1 if mod of x is less than a, that is, if x lies between minus a to plus a, the value of the function is a, and the value of the function is 0 if x lies otherwise these values. So we break this integral, we get 1 upon root 2 pi integral minus infinite to minus a fx e raised to iota px dx plus integral minus a to plus a e raised to iota px fx dx plus third one is a to infinite e raised to iota px fx dx. As by the definition of the given function, the value of the function is 0 when x mod of x is greater than a. That is, the value of the function lies between minus a to a, then the value is 1, otherwise the value of the function is 0. So this integral remains now to be 1 upon root 2 pi integral minus a to a e raised to iota px, and the value of the function in this interval is 1 dx. Now integrating this, we get 1 upon root 2 pi. Integrating this is e raised to iota px upon iota p, and the limits are from minus a to a. So this is equals to 1 upon root 2 pi. If we put the values of x, then we get e raised to iota pa minus e raised to minus iota pa upon iota p. As we know that e raised to iota pa minus e raised to minus iota pa is 2 sine pa. So the value of this one is 2 sine pa upon p into 1 upon root 2 pi. So the first part, that the Fourier transformation of the given function, we find that the Fourier transformation of the given function is 1 upon root 2 pi into 2 sine pa upon p. This is the first part of the problem. This is given as fp. Now using the Parson's identity. Now by the Parson's identity, by Parseval's identity, we know that Parson's identity, if we use the Parson's identity for the function, Parson's identity for the complex Fourier transformation, if we know that integral minus infinite to infinite mod of fx square dx is equals to integral minus infinite to infinite mod of fp square dp. We know that the Fourier transformation we find by equation first, and by using the Parson's identity for the complex Fourier transformation, we know that this is equals to minus infinite integral minus infinite to infinite mod of fx square dx is equals to integral minus infinite to infinite mod of fp square dp. Putting the values of fp and dp, we have already obtained the value of fp. Then putting these values, we get integral minus infinite to infinite mod of fp. Fp is this one, 1 upon 2 pi into 4 sine square pa upon p square dp. This is the value of fp. So mod of fp square is equals to 1 upon 2 pi 4 sine square p upon p square dp is equals to integral minus infinite to infinite mod of fx square. Mod of fx square. Now we have to put the value of fx. Now the function is given that the value of the function is 1 if x lies between minus a to plus a, and otherwise the value of the function is 0. So this interval, now this interval minus infinite to infinite reduces to minus a to a, and the value of the function is 1. So 1 square dx. Now solving this one, we get this is 2a. If we solve this one, this is 2. So we get here integral minus infinite to infinite sine square ap upon p square dp is equals to pi by 2 into 2a, that is a into pi. As we see that in the left hand side, the function in the integral is the even function. So we get this is twice. So twice of integral 0 to infinite sine square ap upon p square dp is equals to a pi. Or we can solve this one as integral 0 to infinite sine square ap upon p square dp is equals to 1 by 2a into pi. Now if we replace p by x, then we get this is integral 0 to infinite sine square ax upon x square dx is equals to 1 by 2 a pi, which is the required result of the given problem. So with the help of the Parcels identity, we can get some important integrals. We can get the values of some important integrals, some simpler than the traditional methods. Thank you very much.